So, ladies and gentlemen, in Major League Baseball, when you're new to the ball club, anything can happen. You can get a pinch runner for you, you can pinch run for somebody else. Someone may ask you to play a last inning of a game because he wants you to gain experience. Now, this guy has a unique place in baseball history. He had a great Major League career, but according to Baseball Americana and Baseball Reference, he's the only person to ever pinch hit for Babe Ruth. So you're saying to yourself, who's this guy and maybe why we haven't heard about this person enough? Well, anybody who's called Duffy needs to have his own story. So today on the channel, we're going to salute the great George Duffy Lewis. Now, born George Edward Duffy Lewis in San Francisco, April 18th, 1888, was American pro baseball left fielder who played in MLB for the Red Sox, the Yankees, and the Senators from 1910 to 21. He attended St. Mary's College of California and made his MLB debut with the Red Sox in 1910 when he formed the Golden Outfield with Tris Speaker and Harry Hooper. He won 3 World Series titles with Boston, 12, 15, and 16. The Red Sox eventually traded Lewis to the Yankees, where he played in 1919 and 20. Before they traded him to the Senators for the 21 season, he continued to play and manage in the minor leagues until 29. He continued to work in baseball as a coach for the Boston Braves from 31 to 35, and then as their traveling secretary through 61. Lewis is a member of 2 Hall of Fames, the Pacific Coast League Hall of Fame, and of course, the Boston Red Sox Hall of Fame. Now, born to Mary Duffy and George Lewis in San Fran, he acquired his nickname from his mother's maiden name. He had an older brother and an older sister. When Lewis was 7 years old, he served as a mascot for the local baseball team in Alameda, California. Now, he attended St. Mary's College of California before making his pro debut with the Alameda Grays of the California State League in 1907. He played for the Oakland Oaks of the PCAL in 08 and 09. He also played winter baseball in Yuma, Arizona, where he was first noticed by Boston Red Sox owner John Taylor. In September 1909, the Red Sox selected Lewis from Oakland in a Rule 5 draft. He finished the 1909 season with Oakland and reporting to spring training with the Red Sox in 1910. Now he became the Red Sox starting left fielder in 1910. Harry Hooper had played left field for the Red Sox, became the right fielder as a result. Along with Hooper and center fielder Tris Speaker, he played in the Golden Outfield from 1910 to 15. In his rookie season, he batted .283 with 8 home runs, second most in the AL, and 29 doubles, third most in the league. In 1911, he batted .307 with 7 homers. In 1912, .284 with 6 home runs. His 109 runs batted in were the second most in the league. Now, the Red Sox won the American League Championship that year and defeated the Giants in the 1912 World Series in 8 contests. Lewis batted 6 for 32 in the series. Now, in 1913, he batted .298 with no home runs. Babe Ruth made his Major League debut on July 11th, 1914, and Lewis pinch hit for Ruth during the game, getting a rally going, which I think he won the contest. He was the only player to pinch hit for Ruth during the latter's Major League career. He finished the 1914 season with a .278 batting average. In 1915, .291 with 31 doubles, the second most in the league. The Red Sox faced the Phillies in the 1915 World Series and won in 5, with Lewis batting 8 for 18, .444. He also recorded 5 out of the 12 RBIs in the series for Boston. He drove in the game-winning runs in both games 3 and 4 and made several catches that helped Boston win the series. After the set, he returned to San Francisco where he performed vaudeville shows at the Pantages Theater in Oakland for $500 a week, which is currently $15,000 in current dollars. Now, the Red Sox traded Speaker to the Indians in 1916, and Boston manager Bill Kerrigan experimented with playing Lewis in center before returning to left field. The Red Sox repeated as AL champions in 1916, with Lewis batting .268. In the 1916 World Series, the Red Sox defeated the Brooklyn Robins in 5, with Lewis batting .353. He batted .302 for the Red Sox at 17, and it was the 9th highest batting average in the league that year. Now, Lewis did not play for Red Sox during the 1918 season due to his service in the United States Navy during the First World War. He enlisted as a yeoman and was stationed at Mare Island Naval Shipyard, where he was the player manager for the shipyard's baseball team. He became a CPO before the end of his service. Now, on December 18, 1918, the Red Sox traded Lewis, along with Dutch Leonard and Ernie Shore, to the Yankees for Ray Caldwell, Frank Galuli, Slim Love, Roxy Walters, and $15,000. He batted .272 with 7 home runs for the Yankees in 19, while leading the AL with 141 games played. He began to lose playing time in 1920, following the Major League debut of Bob Usil and the acquisition of Ruth from Boston, but Lewis still batted .271 in 107 games played. On December 31st, 1920, the Yankees traded him and George Mugadich, the Washington Senators, for Brago Roth. Lewis batted .186 in 27 games for Washington before his release in June. Now, after he was released from the Senators, he signed with the Salt Lake City Bees of the PCL for a remainder of 21 season. He led the association with a 4.3 batting average in 21. He also served as player manager for Salt Lake from 22 to 24. While he was with Salt Lake City, the Red Sox hired him to serve as a scout based in the western United States. Lewis was the player manager for the Portland Beavers of the PCL for the 25 campaign and for the Mobile Bears of the Southern Association for 26. Disappointed with the team's performance, Lewis resigned from Mobile in June 26. He finished that campaign as a left fielder for the Jersey City Skeeters of the International League. In 27, he was player manager for the Portland Eskimos of the New England League, and he won the league championship that season. He retired as a player after 27, but remained as Portland's manager in the 28 campaign. He began the 29 season managing Portland, but resigned in June, citing poor health. Now, Lewis led All-American left fielders in assists in 1910, 11, 12, and 13, pitting 30, 27, 23, and 26 respectively. He finished his major league career with 209 assists, the third lowest among major league left fielders behind Jamie Sheckard and Zach Wheat. He also led the American League left fielders in double plays turned in 1910 with 8, and in putouts in 1910 with 264, and 1912 with 300. His .985 fielding percentage was the ninth best for all AL outfielders in 1919. At bat, Lewis was a perfect line drive hitter, was often a cleanup hitter in the batting order. He was considered to be a clutch hitter. In 11 seasons, 284, 38 home runs, 793 RBIs, 1,518 hits, 289 doubles, and 68 triples. Now, he's well known as well for something called Duffy's Cliff. In 1912, the Red Sox moved to Fenway Park, which featured a 10-foot-high mound that formed an incline in front of the 25-foot left field wall, now better known as the Green Monster. Lewis practiced catching the ball on the way up the incline and throwing the ball while descending. He mastered fielding on the incline to such an extent that it became known as Duffy's Cliff. Sports cartoons of the period often depicted him as a mountain climber, making catches amid sheep and snow caps. The mound, unfortunately, was removed during renovations of Fenway in 1934. Now, Lewis had invested his money in the stock market and lost pretty well all of it in the crash of 1929, compelling him to return to baseball. He eventually became a coach for the Braves in 31. He coached the Braves through 35. Now, Ruth did play with the Braves in 35, and Lewis witnesses Ruth's final Major League home run, much as he had witnessed Ruth's first home run with the Red Sox. He became the Braves' traveling secretary in 36, and also always insisted on first-class travel. He stayed with the organization through a relocation to Milwaukee, and retired from the Braves in 61. Now, Lewis married Eleanor Ruth Keene of Boston, a fan that he met at the Huntington Avenue grounds after the 11 campaign. They did not have any children. Together, they built a house in Boys Hot Springs, California, but a house and rented possessions were destroyed in a fire in 1923. After his baseball career, Lewis and his wife retired to Salem, New Hampshire, where he had a VIP box seats at Rockingham Park. Eleanor unfortunately died in 76. Lewis died in Salem on June 17, 1979, and was buried at Holy Cross Cemetery in Londonderry, New Hampshire. As he had no money or living relatives, he was buried in an unmarked grave. When some volunteer caretakers found out about this, they began to raise money for one, with the Red Sox contributing, and a permanent headstone was dedicated to the great Duffy Lewis in June 2001. He was inducted in the Boston Red Sox Hall of Fame in 2002 and into the PCL Hall of Fame in 2012. A great life in baseball, but I read stories about Duffy as a young child, and the thing is about that incline, that's what stood out for me. But I completely forgot he was the only person to pinch hit for Babe Ruth. But nobody knew he was going to be Babe Ruth at the time. It was just probably just saying, you had a long game, take a rest or whatever. Just more of a, easing him into the situation. But Duffy was also considered a Mona Lisa, and I'll tell you why. You look at the picture and he smiled. What is he thinking? I know he's glad to be here, but he said, did I really pinch hit for Babe Ruth? I mean, what a thing. He said, I know that Babe Ruth. I even know the guy who pinch hit for him. Oh, really? Who is it? You're looking at him. So Duffy Lewis, one of the legends, and this is dedicated to our good follower of the channel, Ryan Thompson, who always likes me to do something on the vintage. Ryan, please continue your good requests. It's well appreciated. But Duffy Lewis, actually, I'm doing this because it came up in the Baltimore Yankees game today on my Sportsnet, because they're talking about Aaron Judge and, how quickly he's developed from a young, strong man to a very talented, mid 20-year-old. Aaron Judge might hit another 60 homers this year, but can he hit Biddy's own record of 63? Yet to be seen. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the story of Duffy Lewis and the story of the person that pinch hit for Babe Ruth. If you like what you're doing here with our baseball podcast, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share.